Good evening, YouTubers. I'm not an expert, and tonight we're looking at 3 flea market find planes. Last week, I found the Shelton and the Miller Falls, and I don't remember exactly what I paid. I paid $8 for one of them, and I think $10 for the other. I don't recall. Not very much money these days. Sometimes I get luckier. The Miller Falls was pretty rusty. The Shelton was just really dirty. And then I have this Stanley, which I bought, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. About 2 years ago, I guess, at the flea market. This is one of my first flea market find planes. It took a little cleanup, not too much. It was a little, it was pretty rusty when I got it, but overall pretty good. Okay, so let's kind of take a look at the Shelton. So Shelton, the story goes from the internet, used to make their own plane designs with a very different lever cap with some kind of a screw adjuster on it, I think. This plane is more of a Stanley knockoff, and someone on the internet said that they started making these in the 50s. So it's a Shelton number 9. The Japanning is in really good shape. It does have a frog adjuster, just like a Stanley, kind of a small knob, and a stamped steel lateral adjuster, but otherwise pretty much just like a Stanley. This one I didn't do any cleanup of. This is the way it was after I took it out of the rust soak, the evapor rust. Just cleaned it up and waxed it. Just kept it kind of simple. My only complaint on it is the tote is a bit of a boat paddle. It's not real comfortable. It's too thick front to back, but it's serviceable. It's okay. And of course I could bust out the files and fix that. Not going to. More of a collection item. Next up, the Miller Falls. Okay, also obviously the Stanley Bailey design. It has the frog adjustment screw. It's really very similar. The one big difference is that the lever cap, I keep messing with the lever cap. The lever cap is 2 pieces. And this one's got some rust on it. I evapor rusted it and then didn't treat it, so I'll have to fix that again. But it's a 2-piece, which Record also used. Okay. And the tote feels just like the Stanley's. The tote is real nice. It's not very pretty, but it's a nice serviceable thing. I did find the tote has a bit of flex even when I have the screw tightened down as much as I can. And then the Stanley. Okay, and I got this one a long time ago. And, you know, it's a standard Stanley with the frog adjustment screw and whatnot. Chrome, which is nice. Or maybe it's nickel. I forget. And the back of this one had been hammered on a lot. Someone either didn't know how to adjust it or was using it as a chisel. But strangely, the cutting edge was actually in really good shape. Even though this had been peened severely. I ground a lot of the peening off. And I had to clean it up a little bit, but I don't believe I ever trued that up either. But it works pretty good. So let's do a comparison of how they cut. I got just a piece of, I don't remember what, just a piece of scrap wood in there. And we'll take the Shelton. We'll see if I can I had it set for a very fine shaving. We'll see if it's still doing that. There we go. Okay. No, it's not that fine. That's pretty good, but I wouldn't call it super fine. Let me see if I can back it out a little bit. Okay, a little better. Yeah, there you go. That's a pretty fine shaving. It's got something to it. Get the camera to focus. There you go. Pretty fine. Okay, so it's capable. And I didn't do the greatest job sharpening that. Oh, there, Miller Falls. Actually kept its adjustment pretty good after I messed with the lever cap. Okay, there's an initial shaving. That's pretty thick, actually. I mean, it's not, but it is. It's not super fine. So let me back it out a little. There's a lot of backlash there, too. Okay, well, that's just now cutting. So that's pretty fine. That's not bad. I did a little better job sharpening that one. And I think with a little adjusting, a little fiddling, I was able to get finer shavings earlier. Let's go to the Stanley. Okay. Gotta hold it flat. Done something wrong here. Just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so there's a shaving from the Stanley. I'd say those are all about a tie in their shaving ability. I honestly think you could probably get a little bit more out of the Stanley if you really tuned it up. But this Miller Falls is not bad. And even this Shelton, which I think is a little less, a little lower in quality. It's a little less of a plane, just a smidge. It's got the cheaper tote, but the castings are about the same. You know, if you find one at a bargain price, you can make a good serviceable plane out of it. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm still kind of biased towards the Stanleys. They just seem just a little bit nicer. But this Miller Falls is not bad. So if you're out shopping for planes, you know, you don't necessarily have to turn up the off brands. You know, Miller Falls has a really good reputation. Shelton, not real familiar with it, but it seems to be, you know, acceptable. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you later.